tea?
Iced tea.
Well, you could try and like talk to Nestea.
Nestle?
Maybe Nestea could
Nestea?
sponsor the CSGO Championship Series.
Free drinks. I know when I cast ETS in Montreal, they give us balls, the energy drink.
They give.
So we just drink
Wait,
balls
you
all
literally
weekend.
drink balls?
Yeah, we drink balls all weekend. BAWLS.
If I found a hair in that drink, I'd be really concerned.
So Fnatic win another knife. We get to see this CT start again from them.
Yep.
And if they can win a pistol, it would change everything because it seems to be the early momentum that they can't find. Oh,
that's
wow.
That's not a great way to start it.
That's your teammate, not the vent. Flusha takes the early damage.
Yeah, he is one of the poor boys that bought armor as well. But the defensive position, yeah, look at this from NaVi. They actually are going for an A. They want to try and push up through connected. JW gets the initial frag onto Seized. And they've got a nice crossfire. Pronax, she's sitting up high, walking on the tightrope with the railings. Now JW finds his second. Flush is also taking a little bit of damage, but it's still in a 3-on-5 situation. Olaf scouting him out just inside that sandwich. Gets to munch on down. And then watching the rotation. So JW will finally drop, but Fnatic win the pistol round with only one casualty of war. Can they get the second round? If JW can do what he did in the first one, then maybe they can. That was a quad round for Fnatic.
Yeah, much more organized from them.
You can call it an ultra kill.
Call it what you want to call it.
Okay.
I won't finish the line.
I can call it. I honestly didn't know the end of the line.
So JW goes immediately for M4. That means he's going to be limited for the op buy early, but Pronax is holding on to the 5-7. Maybe he'll drop off for him. Pronax, of course, is the player toward B, as per always.
Look how far up he is. He's wanting to make sure he can get some information.
And look at the damage Guardian's already taken, too. Down to 8.
Yep. There's that information that Flamey's pushing up. JW actually did a really great job. He was the one that did the damage because Guardian, I think it was Edward as well as Zeus, were trying to have a crack up mid because JW got to that window. And in fact, now JW's into a battle with Zeus and Edward. He's got a little bit of help from Crims using the smoke cover to allow him to get back up into the connector while Flamey, with that Tech 9, they're on to B. The plant's going down. Olaf's coming into the kitchen. Has to look to his left very quickly, able to do so, but he doesn't get the kill. Actually, no, I take it back. He did. So it is a 3-on-2. Deagle and Tech 9. One nasal up the sleeve for C's. This should be kept in mind. But they're both at the back of the B side. JW with the higher ground, and he just comes in. Mops up even more. That's a twofer. And he goes 6-0-1 so far into the second round and the bomb defuse. So Fnatic looking very solid on CT so far. Obviously, though, we were still looking at a semi-buy for, like, it was still a pistol round from NaVi.
Of course, but they got a bomb plant down. They lost the round on it, so an extra $800 on top of what they already got.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too bad. It's not the end of the world here for them. That gives them a little bit more to work with when they go for guns in round 4. Of course, we're going to see a double M4 out this time. And again, I go back to Pronax having only that pistol. He went down, and Flusha was far from him to come back and recover that position. So he had to play passive, which is what allowed that bomb plant.
Aggressive push coming in from NaVi. Olaf forced all the way back. They got really great crossfire from both the stairs as well as down inside of jungle. And because of this, NaVi, they do have JW on 3. In fact, Olaf's going to be the man to die. But there's only Guardian left. The bomb's ticking away. They will eventually lose 2 players. But they got time to save these M4s. And Fnatic have a large amount of money. NaVi will, however, be going into a buy round now. But Fnatic 3-0 off to a good start, which is more than we can say about the other maps they've been playing over the last 2 days. And there's that AWP already up from Guardian. And JW is going to get the same.
So now we're going to see this mid pick. Potentially, we'll see how Guardian wants to take this. He is heading toward mid. He's got the back spawn for it, though. His teammates go into apartments, get out of his way, and JW's already in the window, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, JW's fault.
Here's the smoke. JW's passed back, so he won't go for the body block in the smoke. He actually jumps down and goes past it, so he's going to push up into toward connector. He changes his angle with an unorthodox approach. That was aggressive.
Yeah, he actually did that twice in their match last night.
Good spam from Crims, though. That took Guardian back down to 22, so again, he takes an early hard amount of damage.
There's JW already back up in the window. He's still looking for Edward. Can't get the hit, though. Guardian is down, so he did at least get the tag, but not the kill. They'll lose Crims inside the connector. But Guardian's been very defensive. Flusha pushing up on Catwalk. In fact, Edward's just going to rush him. 17 HP on Edward, but there's less over on Flusha as he's going to drop. Pronax still the last man standing on that B site. Fnatic getting pummeled into a corner. T's so low. JW needs some freedom here. He's wanting to walk up through the CT stairs. Pronax needs to bring down Guardian. He's going to be successful. So they can look for some kind of cross. JW, he's going to get taken out by Flamey. And Pronax has very little hope here. He did manage to bring down Flamey, so it's a one-on-one situation, but he has to look right. He's looking left. And that could be just the ceiling. Oh, wait, it's not. Sees just let him walk past. Pronax isn't quite sure. He's thinking maybe he's cubby, maybe he's in the back. Goes for the fake, but did not check the corners.
And C's just had his crosshair locked on the bomb. So good response. There's your first gun. And that was actually quite impressive that they were able to get inside A and get it down in that regard, because Edward had 17 and Guardian, had 22 before the round even took any damage back the other way. So good control of A. That's going to make Fnatic fade off of this connector and window a little bit sooner. This will make JW have to be more aware of his rotations. And Guardian's got the op again. This time he's going to go toward Palace with it. Try and find that pick toward jungle.
He's good. Maybe he can get a pick on Crims. Look at JW. Even without the smoke, he's still jumping down through the window, looking for a better angle. And this allows Crims as well as Olaf to sit closer on the A side.
And what he's actually doing is on his way down, checking the underpass. Because if he pops down with an op and you're in the hallway, it's a pretty easy shot for him. But again, then he rotates back to in through connector and back to jungle. And then a window again if necessary. If they catch out that he's doing this every round, they'll just wait with an off angle for him to drop.
Here comes your push. JW is still just looking for the spam down, but Zeus has managed to get himself inside the connector. Flusher, smoke down so he cannot see this. Olaf trying to go to work, able to do so with the Mag 7. There's a second one inside the smoke. He'll pick up the AK from the T. So upgrading that weapon and then falling back into Shadow. Guardian still above him. There goes Crims, bringing down Zeus. Edward's right behind him. The last three plays at JW. He's actually moved over to B, expecting a push from there. But now the shot from Guardian, Flusher, and JW, they're both coming back as quick as they can. Olaf can at least take one down with him, leaving a 3-on-2 situation. Pronax to come in through catwalks. He'll be able to see over through the connector. That's where the first battle is beginning.
Edward has to win this fight. He looks the wrong way. Flusher gets him, so Seized is on his own. If he had a one off on Flusher, he still had 2 flashes to hold them out post-plant. He dies without using either of those, and now Seized is in a hero position where he's got to win this 1-on-2.
He's getting double teamed a little bit, but he's able to bring down one, looking for the second, but cannot get on top of Pronax. The bomb was on the exposed side for the CT connector, but where he ended up would have been a little bit more difficult. But still, Fnatic now 4 rounds to 1, but they're able to deal with NaVi after losing the gun round. And this does keep their money up. And NaVi a little bit down. They got 4K on Guardian. And he is going to buy up the AKs. Okay, so we're getting AKs, Galils, and Tech 9s.
It was a bit of a questionable play to not cover off jungle in that position either, to go down. Like I said, still 2 flashes unused. If he's planning on the inside of the box, he's got to hit a wall shot in order to take down the planter. Yes, that is a wallable position, but it's less likely than having a rotator coming right through windows. So if you hold off the initial charge, you leave yourself alive. Bomb's likely going to go down. You leave it at 2-on-2. So I understand the thought process that they were closer in that regard, but they weren't actually there.
They're coming in right now. Flashes, smokes. It's a good flash, stopping the 3 NaVi players from getting up through that staircase, buying time for the rotations to arrive. It's still a 1-1 trade-off. Olaf banging out from the box. That Molotov was behind him, which he'll avoid as he drops down, but they've dragged the B player over as well, because NaVi's taken so long to get themselves onto the site. They do still have a 2-on-3 situation, injured as they may be. Flamey, he gets the upper hand on Pronax. A 1-on-3 for Crims. Coming up through CT stairs. The bomb being planted on the exposed side. Oh, well, where is it? Flamey? Where are you putting that thing down, man? Okay, well, they just know where he is. He will plant it on exposed. And there's nothing Crims is going to do to try and stop this. He doesn't have a defuse kit, so just going in for ninja style is going to be difficult. And he knows he's up against AWPs and AKs.
This was really good hold from NaVi, because they had 3 in the site before that last smoke on jungle was deployed on Fnatic's side. They'd already come around. JW, they've got to find a better answer for him in mid. Obviously, that round, they didn't even go near him. They didn't even address it. They leave it for him to retake the site. But there's a free kill there if they can catch on to this drop play that he's doing, because he's going to start to get carried away with it at this point. He's done it all 4 rounds. They haven't gone on to him at all. He's going to think it's a free rite of passage. One shot will change everything in the mentality for JW right now.
I love how the players still jump that even though you don't have to anymore.
And now look, even with the save, he goes right out the window. He's already behind them. So they need to answer him in middle soon, because if he gets money and gets carried away, they're going to have to deal with this all game.
It's unfortunate for JW as he was unable to get the weapon, but it does mean NaVi's looking behind him until Edward just opens up on Flusher and Pronax, which just tears apart the B defense. That's up to Fnatic. 3 players on 4. You got Olaf coming up. He's coming the long way in. Zeus, he should have been able to hear that. It looks like he will eventually get the upper hand. But JW, still making NaVi lose a couple of players for this one. In fact, that's now a 3 for in this round. The CZ working. And Crims, he's able to get the information. 4 HP on 1. They're both lining up for him a little bit. The bomb's still ticking down. JW's out of time as well as Angles. So it wasn't the cleanest round for NaVi. They do hold the AK and the AWP. But Fnatic getting some money. But they're still going to go for a pistol round this time around. So it's not a full buy from them. They're trying to wait it out, get a couple more rounds once they've got their weapons up. If they can get more rounds like that on JW, they could be looking at the double AWPs.
So JW again is in underpass.
C's is waiting for him. So JW's not going to get the peek he's looking for.
C's just going to have Pronax pushing from the other side. So Fnatic's still trying to be aggressive. And like I said, if they can catch JW in his act at least once, it'll make him second guess that. And when guns come back out, make his job a lot harder. Flamey gets Olaf Crims right back into him, but he's going to drop when he walks around the corner and finds out that Zeus, the god of war, just kidding, is waiting there.
I'm going to actually quote that incorrectly just to make it the joke. Edward's not the last CT player, so Pronax won't live for long.
Gives me a reason to spam the emoji.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, everyone.
Might as well make use of the 27 emojis we have.
Battle Zeus versus the pot of gold. Who wins, the pot of gold or Zeus?
So JW goes immediately back. He does have head armor, but bought down to 0 with only the 1 flash. And we're going to see him go back toward this mid position. Again, Guardian's not going to take the fight, though. He's got the AWP, and he wants to head into B. If he goes underpass with this AWP... Okay, never mind. He's not going to do it, because I would have said that would have been a one-on-one with JW from an off angle. But they want B, and Pronax isn't playing his default position. They're getting a lot more aggression toward Cat. Yeah, so they're going to play for a retake.
Kind of seems crazy now that all of NaVi, in fact, every single player of NaVi, are coming over these B-side apartments. And Flusher sees it coming, throws the nade up quite high. He's going to look for the first kill, which he'll be able to get. Guardian got tagged up pretty nicely by that nade. He shouldn't go for this jump. Now is Guardian's day to fly out. I think she didn't do any damage to his teammate, but Flush has already had time to reload. Takes a second, takes a third. A jump for the pistol, going to hold on to it. He will be dropped, but Fnatic bottlenecking NaVi, or I almost want to say NaVi bottlenecking themselves. They took too long to get out. And Flusher was kind of the primary man that made that happen.
Yeah, he came back, and it's interesting to see him be that effective in that position, because, again, that's normally Pronax's spot. They played for more mid-presence. They still have enough money, though. Lots of money on the T side, so Guardian's going to go right back to this AWP. He's been a little bit cold. 3 kills only, but there's his 4th. Easy kill on Crims.
He knew the angle and just shot it straight through the smoke. That was that run over the stairs. So here's the reason why they dragged 2 up through short last time, putting Pronax up on a pedestal.
So they'll set up for A on this. Edward's still going to wait mid. JW has to fall out of the window now to cover off Crims' position to make up for the fact that mid's likely going to be contested without a window and a connector player. Pronax and Flusha have both stacked catwalks, so still won't be a free rite of passage if Edward wants to move up. It's good dynamic play.
Smoke, smoke, smoke. I'm going to call for support. Where's that initial hit from JW?
No smoke out on JW. Okay, there it is now.
There it is. It came late. So it's going to flash into Shadow. He'll get out there. Olaf has already been dropped, so there was your close player. Flamey Pronax. Able to go big on him, but there was still that floater from Edward sitting in mid, so it's JW and Flusher. They need that initial pick. Unfortunately for them, Guardian's watching him like a hawk, and they're going to save their weapons. They don't want to lose the AWP in the M4, because they're flat broke. Pronax still has 2.6k, so they'll have some money to buy for the next round. But without these weapons, they'll have very little chance of holding against NaVi.
So bomb detonates. Even saving the weapons, they'll get the money on Fnatic's side. which means Flusha with the gun's going to have up to 3.
Yeah, 4K on Pronax. Is he going to spend any of it? Yeah, he'll buy an M4 and armor. And we even get a Famus over
Yeah,
on
so there you go. That's the drop I was looking for.
Yep, so Olaf's the only man, and he's just going to buy a mag. So he's fine. Sit tight on B, and he'll be all good. But then again, where's he going? He's actually running to the A. Very late to get there, though. Flamey and Edward are already up inside of Palace. The bomb is over on the B side of the map. So it looks to be the primary focus of NaVi until they see something else. And JW, so aggressive. And Guardian's waiting for it. Actually, maybe you're waiting a little bit too... Not much of a time. I was going to say too long, but that's the wrong way. Because he moved himself up, he wanted to check out window again. JW able to capitalize, so Edward has to grab that ult from mid. As he really wanted to go into a battle with JW. Flamey wants to try and get onto the A site. But Crims is there waiting for him with that Famus. JW finds another one. So that AWP still. It's almost the albatross of NaVi at the moment. They just can't hold it. But Seas and Zeus. Well, Seas is out in that B site.
Watch Olaf, though. He's already pushed Palace. They're going to grab this bomb and head back to A because Flamey's going to make a call that it's open.
He's running so quickly.
Olaf's going to get this.
Where's he going to look? He looks up. And this is not what Flamey was expecting. He'll still get on top of it. But yeah, it's a 50 HP to 28 HP T side. And let's remove that 50 HP from Flamey. With one bullet out from JW.
And Olaf didn't get the kill because he only had the pistol, so he at least got the information. So JW is going to fall back, play this off angle. Flusha's going to wait in the site. He's going to have a hard time even getting this bomb down. And yeah, look, go for the plant. See you later.
Flush did a really big kill as well. That one player from NaVi that potentially could have got out from apartments and secured the B site, he was able to bring him down from catwalk. At which point NaVi was like, okay, we can't take B. We're not feeling confident for this one. Move back over to the A. But then they found themselves in this horrible crossfire from Fnatic, and the fact that Olaf gave them all the information allowed for Fnatic to set up for that D. So we go into our 12th round now. The bomb being left back at spawn. As once again, NaVi trying not to reveal too much. Seems was about to go down through underpass. Made a lot of noise, so Flush will be able to hear that. And they are moving the floating players over in A back over to B, or at least through mid. And JW, he's feeling it. He's actually brought the AWP all the way over to the truck, watching into the apartments. And he's moving up for it too. So he can see down to the staircase moving to underpass. He shouldn't walk up too far. Seas is just around the corner, so is Edward, and there's that initial hit. JW is going to drop. But Pronax, Famus to take one. Support's coming in through the side. That Zeus battling up against Flusha, but the name was right behind him. Pronax still trying to hold the apartments, but he cannot do so.
Big win for Flusha. That left 2 in the site because your rotators weren't even inside the checker room at that point. Easy hold in apartments as a result. So that nade that Flusha threw out did more damage and more good for Fnatic than you could possibly imagine. He goes down, that bomb site becomes a lot more open. 2 players still flooding in and 1 from Cat. So Fnatic's doing well to get back into this. I'm still impressed with NaVi. I have to say they've read Fnatic well. They know their mid presence is obviously a thing because they haven't taken the fight with JW and they've still managed to get 5 rounds. Usually people butt heads far too much with Fnatic in that regard.
Yeah, it was only like 1 round where they really did it. That nade gonna fly up so high. It hit so hard, and now only 1 player left alive. Seas. It was a pistol round. Olaf spamming through the smoke looking for some kind of kill, and he's gonna take it as well. But that nade from JW just coming in from that CT connector, bouncing off the top. But it was the crossfire from Fnatic that did the work. It was NaVi just attempting whatever they could. They had pistols. Go for a quick entry. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, what have you got to lose? Money? Didn't even use it.
We're going 10 rifles this round as well.
No ops?
No ops.
Did JW lose it in the last round?
He did. So it's down.
Surprised
he had 4,100 with kit, with armor. He could have picked one up if he wanted to. Sacrifice
Yeah.
the money and economy for the next round. But again, they haven't really been giving him... Oh, look, he's going to lurk. He's going to lurk into apartments. He got out window again, and this time he uses the M4 to get up close rather than fall back into window from that connector. So good play by JW knowing his weaponry, but he's also gone that route because he knows they haven't been fighting him. So much like NaVi, who played a lot of mid last night, are reading their opponent, JW's already read back into them.
It's also fun to note, too, that normally this is Olaf's role on a lot of other maps, but here on Mirage, JW is the man picking up Crims. Perfect flash. Takes out one, backs it up so they can't just pre-fire that box corner, and not a single casualty of war. That was Navi's buy round. That was a big loss as well. They've still got 3K. That money is kicking in, but they're not buying up big. Edward, we've got a scout up for him.
It's scary
because for everyone else in the
Fnatic's not being punished for getting aggressive in these spots, so they're going to go ahead and do it. They're going to continue to do it. JW does go back to the op this time because he'll throw that one gun away and say, okay, I want to go back to it.
I'm not going to say that's going to stop him from being aggressive. He just plays the window and drops out.
Exactly, and JW's in the perfect roster in terms of his play style, because if the other 4 players are doing their job, he has all the freedom in the world to play this sort of hybrid style that he does. And already he's in connector, so that means Crims is already focusing on A. They've got 3 there. They're going to rush in. This is going to be a slaughter, or should be a slaughter for Fnatic.
We'll see. Olaf still in close.
They're playing different smokes, though. They're going more to these smokes that NaVi has coined. And although JW's up close, they don't cover off jungle for it. So 2 for him easily. Finally, Crims goes down, but JW switches over to his well-known and well-dubbed CZ75.
It was coming in from Cat. As the only place he can find a pick. He goes for the scope hit. We'll have to use the pistol to finish the job, but that'll allow JW to get a forfeit, and that'll end our first half. I think we have to agree that, yes, Fnatic's playing beautifully as a team, but JW's positions is floating. He's floating to being like beyond get-right level as well.
And I gave them credit. I do give them credit for reading Fnatic and saying, okay, last night we had a mid-presence. Tonight we don't want to because it's a hard fight, but you still have to punish JW if he's going to play in that regard and in that manner of aggression. And if you don't, he just gets carried away. He gets to float the map. We saw how quick he was to rotate, pushing in B apartments on round 14, round 15, gets inside A. They changed their smokes. They knew it wasn't working for them effectively, so they tried to block off the site and get the plant quickly and then hold it from the backside over toward A ramp. JW was already there. He wasn't punished. He doesn't have to sit in mid. He knows he doesn't have to sit in mid when they're not giving him any fight.
Fnatic's looking at a B push. JW went down to check underpass, but they're coming out. They're looking for C's. Edward already able to get the first hit. That was Olaf trying to come out. He has to switch over for the pistol. Zeus already rotating in, so is Flamey. But they've committed to this one, Fnatic, so they've got to see it through. JW and Crims opening up a little bit more, but they can't clean out the kitchen. So Flusher, big or home? Currently, slightly big. Getting bigger, but not big enough. So that'll be 10-6. Fnatic will be able, NaVi will be able to hold their pistol round for now. And what do we got? We got M4, we got Famus, and we got Tech 9. No, Tech 9.
MP9.
Yeah, the MP9.
I knew what you meant.
The other 9. The other 9.
The little bulldozer.
Then we got the other 9 in that one too, the P9T.
So it's interesting to see Zeus go P90. Yes, it has a lot of potency and obviously the large clip, but it does give the least kill reward of any SMG.
Guardian is hearing come in. That nade doing some work. Not as much as I thought it was going to. Fnatic, they're up. JW into the window. He's able to kill off Guardian, but these M4s are still in the hands of NaVi. Seeds is also moving in. He's realizing there's one over on the Cat. That's going to be Olaf. Pronax knows he's there. Crim's going to give that extra support for the cover fire. Seeing the feet through the smoke. Takes out Zeus as well. And we're in a 3-on-2 situation. The bomb is still a long way back. Crim's to go down. And Flamey and Edward so close to each other. The bomb runner is doing his work. It's Flusher having to pump those legs while Pronax is going to secure the B site. But if Flusher's going to get there, he has to go all the way through the apartments. I'm wondering if it's almost worth it for Flamey or Edward to go through underpass.
Well, Flamey's behind them. They won't expect, or pardon me, Pronax is behind them. They won't expect him to be there, but he's very low HP, and he's going to have to nail this shot. It's only an MP9. He's got 2 M4s, yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. Pronax, I thought they were going to walk in and peek him easily, but they're too close together to even react to the first guy going down, and it's easy. Pronax, what a lurk play by him.
And the fact that it could have also been less glorious, because there was that reload from Flamey just before he went around the corner. So when that happened, I thought, oh, he's just going to walk around blind into the kitchen area. Didn't do it, had the weapon up, but Reaction time not fast enough, and nothing but head was achieved. Which means Fnatic get a real critical round.
Smart call to switch to the pistol there because it's so much more powerful if he hits headshots up close. It's exactly what he did. The MP9 would not have been enough there.
JW aggressively moving up through underpass. Flush is trying to give him as much information as he can from top mid. That nade. Doing a little bit of chip damage to Guardian. He's the man holding them with the Deagle. So they got Deagle and 2 scouts. And there's one of the scouts going to work, but seized. Taking a large amount of damage for the damage he was able to dish out. And they're moving over to the B site now. Crimson Olaf have been patiently waiting, but at the same time, Guardian and Seeds have read this. So Zeus is moving up. He's already up through underpass and coming around behind Fnatic. So if Fnatic don't move quickly, they're not going to have the numbers advantage for this push. But it'll be up to Crims to get the first pick. Edward, with that scout, he's watching in. A lot of flashes, a lot of smokes. And here comes Flamey. Out from the shadows. And Edward and Cease with those scouts go to work. Flush shot. There's that flank coming in. That just leaves Pronax all by his little lonesome, trying to reload his gun up in time. The 2 scouts and pistols. Flashes. Whoops. Okay, that was a little bit off. But it's not going to stop NaVi from winning the round.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Second time, you're not clutching. So NaVi, 7 now. Answer back how they had to, because getting Eco would have let Fnatic walk away and get too far into the distance. They need to reel them in now.
It's still not a huge amount of money over on NaVi. Like, we see the scouts, we got that M4, which was safe from the previous round. But it's not as though they're rolling in it. So both teams on not a full buyer round. Obviously, Fnatic is still chained to the pistols. And they're going for an A push. Edward and Seeds are prepped for the B rush. Flamey, okay, they throw the flash. Seeds has to have a look to see what's going to be there. And it's really up to Flamey to do the big work here. He's going to drop down. At the same time the flash came out, so he's still quite visible. I mean, his eyes are still working. And that is going to be a massacre. Absolute massacre. Pronax got 1. But it wasn't the M4 carrier. So it doesn't really matter. So here comes your buy round from Fnatic. Still a tall ask. 4 more rounds up against the CT side.
And a tough buy for a buy round at that. You're going to see a Galil come out right now for Crims. And very limited grenades. We've got a flash for Flusha. We do have 3 smokes. But 3 smokes means you've got to be perfect with them. You've got to nail CT. If you're going to go A, you've got to nail CT, you've got to nail jungle, and you've got to nail back on top of the stairs. Now, you're going to use one on catwalk, though. Well, pardon me, that came out the other way. I thought they actually pushed that to try and push connector. Guardian, though, nice shot with that scout. Crim's down already.
He played a really patient position on that window. Jumped to one side. He got tagged up a little bit. Only 5 HP was lost, but he waited for the right time when he knew that push in. JW was able to secure mid connector. You notice Guardian with that scout still hovering around mid. He's assuming he's over on catwalk. Flamey. Pronax is a little bit too late to kill him to save his teammate. Flusher is still going to drop, but we're in a 2-on-2 situation. JW is the walking wounded. Then Pronax, get that bomb, get the plant. Oh, sorry, I take it back. No, I don't. That bomb is just sitting on the ground. Now it's going to be planted. And Caesar's moving in. Pronax looking the wrong direction, but he is able to be protected by that bomb site. Guardian, JW, going to bring the odds in favor of Fnatic. The flash try and slow down that attack, which is going to be very successful at doing so. Pronax and JW, they're pushed back a long way.
And he's only got a flash. He can't smoke himself onto this. JW knows he's weak, so he's going to play very passive and leave the initial peek to Pronax. He'll bait out the timer. Seized isn't even going to go for it.
No. He's saving the M4. He's got M4, armor, smoke and flash, and defuse kit. That's a lot of moolah.
He may catch Pronax in the spawn.
Okay, that's a little bit bad for Fnatic. The money isn't that brilliant to replace that weapon, especially now they're going up against the AWP. So the AWP's been thrown down. They're trying to reach Guardian with it, but he's not close enough for it. Even though he did get the quick spawn, he'll have to move back to pick up the AWP.
And just to point out the fact that we talked about specifically in the first half, JW versus Guardian. JW's got 26, Guardian has 7. So again, that mid-presence never came to be. Crims just takes down Guardian again. He can't get any luck going his way right now.
Especially when you get taken out by a Galil. It's not even an M4, it's just the Galil.
An AK, rather. An AK, rather.
Oh, is that what?
He would have. It was a Galil, but you said M4. It would have been an AK.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Edward's going to get Flusha. That scout gets him that time coming around the corner. Crim's going to smoke himself out of this position, but still a man up right now for Fnatic.
That floating nade. Crim's taking the damage, but Olaf and Pronax are already on the B side. Edward's moved over to A. Seizes the floater, so this will be a plant for Fnatic. A very rough retake to do. Seas probably wants to get over there and pick up that AWP if he can. But he's still holding on to the scout. That's Edward who's got the scout, sorry. Seas is the one with the M4. So where's his targets? One on the left, one on the back, one on the right. And Edward has moved up and picked up the AWP. They're going to save their weapons. Leave them in the plant. Let it just tick out. Olaf wants to hunt this, however. Well, okay. Well, NaVi, maybe not so impossible anymore. They picked up 2 kills. But Edward's the last man left alive with the AWP, and he's on the wrong side of the map. So the plant will still go, will still blow up, and Fnatic will take their 13th round here.
Terrorists win.
Important that Edwards holds this op, though.
Yeah, without it, they can't control the mid, and they don't have any chance.
They're not going to have much to work with anyway. They won't force out anything along with it. They'll get 1 P250 for Flamey. I'll look for Ed. He's actually going to hold it because he's got the front spawn, so he wants to rush immediately toward the window and take the fight. But they're already, look, Fnatic knows this is going to be a save. They know the situation, so they're already just going to fast rush into A.
How fast is Flusha there? They've already pushed out. Flamey's down in dark. Zeus rushing up a long way. Look at the pickup on Olaf. And Guardian and Seas are coming back.
Edward covered off well there because now Flamey's still alive in shadow, and they've already lost 2 players because that push from Zeus also found one. So suddenly it's looking okay for NaVi. They've still got a lot of work to do. Crim's going to get Flamey. Edward's trying to find a secondary angle, but that smoke's going to hold him out.
They're bailing out of here. Flush is already starting his flank around the back. They need to control up mid. JW is the one on the A side. Edward's trying to bang through the box to find him. I think JW also realized there's no way he's running out of here anymore.
Well, JW also needs to stay. I like that he's staying because there's a gun down inside Palace. Okay, he's down. There's an AK in Palace, but the problem is Fnatic's already at B.
Yep. So they're going to get the plant with double AKs and good crosses. Look at Guardian move. He's coming in through underpass. So he's going to try and come up behind them in apartments, which allows Edward and Cease to do some work either through Cat or Kitchen.
Cease will finally go forward and get that first AK under shadow. There was 2 to grab, so Edward rotated without a gun.
Flusha.
It only would have cost him about 5 seconds to go get it. And he's going to go down right away. Guardian, the man without the weapon.
This is not great. This is not great for NaVi. The retake's going to fail. Flush was hiding perfectly in the corner. And the bomb is just ticking out for too long. So Crims is waiting it out. Caesar's at least able to find the AWP. So again, NaVi will be able to save that. But really at what cost? Because now it's 13, 14, 8. So we go into our next round, and NaVi, well, they are finding a lot more money. So this time they should have themselves with a proper buy round. And Fnatic still holding off on that AWP. It's a lot of money on Olaf. Still 3.6k after buying this round, but the rest of his team isn't that.
But they grabbed that AWP from the last round, so Guardian's going to have it to work with. He's back in window, but again, Fnatic's not even playing it. They want to go straight into A, or at least contest with Flamey and Zeus. So Edward going for the early spam over toward Kitchen side, but he's going to have to be quick to rotate. He's actually not going to go catwalk, so they're giving up mid entirely. Luckily, there's no one there from Fnatic. Zeus is inside the site, though. One for him. Unanswered because he's still looking for the player underneath shadow. He should have turned as Olaf goes down and pays the price for it. Finally, Crims from Tetris gets an answer, but those smokes are out. Now they'll get this bomb plant down. And unfortunately for NaVi, there's no one CT side to try and push into Pronax.
They do have Seeds to come up through this connector, trying to spam through the boxes. They'd rather kill off Pronax. But Flusha and Crims, if they can hold this site up against the 3 from NaVi. There's Edward. Finally, the flank's going to come in. So Crims will drop. Flusha in an almost impossible position. No nades, no smokes. He'll take out Seas. He's looking for the second. Needs a third as well. Down to Sandwich, up through to Tetris, but he cannot be the Tetris master. Flusha will finally be brought down by Guardian. Is there time?
There is time. Yeah,
there's time.
He's got this. So Diffuse Kit wins that round for them. Great retake from NaVi. I didn't think it was going to be as easy as that because, like I said, they had 3 stacked over toward the connector. Edward came around, though, just after that smoke had gone away, and at that point, Crims wasn't even paying attention to it anymore. Pronax had already dropped before that, who was originally watching that spot. And Flusha almost clutching this, just not able to get that last shot at all. So NaVi, 1 away from double digits. It's still 2 rounds to go for Fnatic, and we go to map 3.
Look at Fnatic coming in. Tech 9s. And just, it's a B attack. 3 flashes, 1 smoke. And here they come. Already Edward opens up the account, taking out Olaf. Taking a considerable amount of damage to achieve that. And that means Seas has to move towards the front lines. Drops the Famus. So it gets in the hands of JW. So they've lost a couple, but really, it was a quick rotation in from NaVi. They retake. Well, they don't even retake. They just stop the taking. But Fnatic go for a full buy now. There's that AWP on JW, armor included.
So now that he has the AWP out, I want to see if he goes for this mid fight.
He has to. They're real. Like, is he the Palace or mid fight?
Nope, he's going straight to Palace. So he's going to take this cross shot out toward either the backside of connector or jungle.
Well, they know that Flamey's been playing pretty far up on the A. So the only other choice, in fact, he actually lets the shot off from up in Palace, which is bringing Guardian's attention back over. Flamey.
It also means Zeus readjusted his angle too, so they've already got this covered.
Yep. He shot that through smoke. Like, that wasn't really that wasn't a shot of, I know I'm going to hit somebody here. That was let's have a bit of a guess. Look how far Seized is up. He's already up deep into the apartments. And Fnatic, at this point, I'm almost feeling they should just wait. See if JW can win this battle up against Guardian. It's going to be next to impossible. In fact, it is impossible. The AWP is going to be dropped. If they could hold that AWP, then maybe they could have tried to split up the defense. But now, a B push is the only thing they can do. The flashes are thrown. They are able to bring down Seas. Edward's still watching from Cat, and that's with the AWP. He takes a large amount of damage, but there's nothing more Fnatic can do here. That was a big buy round for them, which has backfired majorly. Because that's now also a double AWP setup guarding Edward. They managed to pick up that AWP from inside of Palace. So Navi's control is huge at the moment. Fnatic, I think their only option is just that quick run. And look at him. 6 flashes, 7 flashes.
But look at this. We've also finally got double up. So Edward's going to go right toward the catwalk. They'll pinch this mid. But look at the rush going straight to B. Edward might read this. He's not actually going cat. He's read this. He knows the economy. He knows this might be a pistol rush.
4 flashes. Crim's already taking a large amount of damage here. I think that was a Molotov that was thrown out, in fact.
Yeah, but C's missed that. That should have landed on the balcony. Instead, he dropped it down below, so that does nothing.
He's still going to pick up 2. Loses his life, but the support's there from Guardian with his AWP. And the bomb is exposed. Only Pronax and Flush are left. Pronax on the side, trying to rush into Guardian.
I love it. YOLO. Just run it in. I got the bomb. I'll plant it. I don't care if there's 3 people shooting me.
And Flush just tries to be that surprise man. Flamey's waiting for him. It shouldn't take too much, just to reflex. Yeah, he sees the jump and bump bump. So Fnatic still being denied that 15th win round for themselves.
It's elusive. It's real elusive. Again, Money came back just in time to prevent it. They'll have the AWP out for Olaf this time. They're actually going to start with him. So where's his spawn? It's A. They want to go for an A pick again. And he's going to go solo to look for this pick. The rest of them are looking in for... So watch for an underpass. I'll bet you Crims right now. Yeah, Crims and JW go underpass. They want to take this connector and open up A with full mid control. So they want Guardian down early. Edward's going to play it from Catwalk to try and slow that down, though. And a good smoke, though. He doesn't have line of sight. Guardian's taking a lot of damage.
And where is Edward? Where is that kill on him? He's backing up through connector. Back through Cat. Back over to B. Olaf couldn't find that pick. The second flame, he actually had a look for him. He threw the perfect flash. They're going to boost themselves up to window. Sees is right next to him. It feels like one is there as JW looks to the heavens, or at least to the ladder, with no joy. Guardian sitting up on top of the box. Hope he's punched his ticket for that one. Or else Olaf's going to have a very easy shot. They get the bomb and they're coming back over towards the A site now. Flusher is still just hovering around. Yeah, that's that easy shot I was talking about. Let's be careful from the stairs. Looking for the second one. Edward able to get rid of Flusher. But it was actually an underpass. Take it back. It was over in ladder. There's a 3-on-3. All of NaVi are basically standing on top of each other. That AWP already from Olaf. Able to drop down. He was coming in for the knife shot around the corner of the wall. Able to bend it like Beckham. And now Fnatic get the bomb plant down on one-on-one situation. Can Olaf do this for his team? The AWP, he got the information. Seized also knows where he is. Throws out the molly, exposes the target, but seized. There it will be.
This is looking tight. This is looking very tight.
I want to see this again. Like how of just lean it, lean it, lean it. Bomb. I swear he was training under Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, the curve shot.
That's it.
I mean, if that hadn't been a headshot, though, that wasn't a kill.
Who wouldn't want to train
through the edge
under
of
her?
that, it would not have been a kill. So he was lucky it nailed the dome. He was lucky he crouched into that. So 1 round the difference, and Fnatic's going to force this one up. So they're basically playing at this point for the win. The problem is NaVi could still force the next round if they get enough kills. Actually, I take that back. There's 350 for Flamey, so it would be a pretty staggered force. It would be pretty desperate. They'd be better to play for overtime in response.
Guardians moved in time for this. Jumping up to the ticket box again. There's no AWP to battle him, and in fact, he's going to throw the smoke, so they go pretty blind. There's your opening frag on Crims. The flashbang as well. Olaf does come out to still get that kill. But they've taken a large amount of casualties to breach in. It's a 3-on-3 situation. JW making the odds even better here for Fnatic. They are still not in the site. In fact, they're losing players while they're still trying to get onto the site. 46 seconds left on the clock. They are going to flank themselves over to B. And Edward and C's are already running for this. They want to check through mid. Or, wait, are they? They ran like they were moving to B, and then they just stopped inside that mid window. And Flush is going to have a look.
Oh, Edward's looking the wrong way. He's going to get caught out by this. Flusha, easy kill.
Leg it, Pronax. Leg it. He's got to get that B plant down. And Flusha, he's going to drop, which reveals the fact that C's is in. And again, we find ourselves in this one-on-one position. The difference will be Pronax will get the plant down before C's will get there. So he can set up for the defense. It's exposed for the short, but he's going to hold in very tight onto the windows of Kitchen. And in fact, goes for the kill, and we'll take it. That's the 15th round for Fnatic. And NaVi, as you said, like, they got money. There's 6.1k in Guardian, and he is going to go for the op. So, NaVi, if they fail this round, then obviously Fnatic's going to win anyway. So, buy up what you got when you can get it.
So, Guardian back to window.
They're really slow, Fnatic. Olaf and Flush aren't moving, and now Flush is moving. Now Olaf's moving.
A bit of a decision-making period process there. Zeus is very close to this smoke, though, at A by Tetris. So he wants to get aggressive. Flamey will be the one that sits back a little bit further.
It's kind of funny because they're switching their roles. Flamey's normally been the one having
Yeah,
the
exactly. So he's back toward the quad boxes. He's actually rotated more over to a jungle position to watch that entrance from Palace, but that smoke's gone. Zeus has to be careful. He's going to push himself to the corner.
And maybe he can get one. Here come your flashes. And he gets one. But doesn't get much more. But it's allowing Edward to come in. Seeds on a very, very quick run for the flank. Flamey's also in a great position to take out any exit from Palace. But with Crims controlling the short, the bomb plant going down, Flamey's still on top of that site and sees he's into Palace too. And they've just completely backed off the bomb. Seas is on the way in. Is anyone going to go for this defuse? It is the exposed side. They're hearing it. Now Crim's going to have a bit of a look. And gets one. Oh. Looking for the second with the control spray. Does at least do a large amount of damage. Seized on 4 HP. A sniffle would knock him over. And Flusha comes in.
They had no idea where Flusha was.
Wait it. All he's got to do is wait. And there's the GG call coming out. There's no faith at all in Flamey, even though he's going to get this kill.
He's got no time.
There's no time for the defuse. Fnatic will take map number 2 against
NaVi.
NaVi.
Hit the perfect shot, because if he hadn't hit the diffuser, they hold that, even though it's a 2-on-2, and Flusha wasn't that close to the CT connector to get that shot. So, great shot by Crims. Good hold. They were very passive once that bomb went down, but Fnatic narrowly escape a loss to NaVi. So we'll take a quick break because of the pause we had in the first match. We want to get things going as fast as possible. So we'll be right back. Map number 3, DE Cash, and it's all to play for. Loser goes home, winner plays TSM.
JW with the higher ground, and he just comes in, mops up even more. That's a twofer. He's going to get taken out by Flamey, and Pronax has very little hope here.